What's up YouTube? Thank you guys so much for tuning back into another video. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys stick around and hit that subscribe button if you want. We're gonna get really candid and just talk about some of my strengths and weaknesses that I have learned about myself over these past few years, and I think that's a good discussion to kind of open up and talk about today, so that's what we are going to do. Now, being somebody that kind of identifies more with being introverted, I feel like we all kind of have some introvert and extrovert tendencies, but I will admit that I am a little bit more leaning towards the introverted side. The first thing that popped up into my mind, actually, I'm not usually the person that will start up the conversation. I think that's really important to just talk to people because you never know their journey or how you guys could benefit each other, and you really can't get anywhere in life and in business without speaking up and talking and reaching out. And that's just something that still frightens me to this day, and I think that just holds me back in a lot of areas, that I could be one to take initiative and reach out to people and build my business and just see where it takes me, yet I for some reason don't. That's something that I really need to work on. Sometimes I tend to dim my light around others, to not want to show off or be extra. Like, I don't even know how to explain it really, but if you get it, you get it. And in some ways it's kind of like you are being dishonest. You're kind of lying to people, and it's not that you're legit like verbally lying, but it's that you're not fully expressing who you truly are to your full capacity. For instance, I remember way back in elementary school, I don't know what grade I was in, of course we used to have PE, physical education. You go out and you play games or you do whatever. We used to have these Olympics and these games and stuff like that. I was pretty athletic even back then, pretty fast when it came to racing. So the relay race was like my thing. That was me. The relay, like, you already know when the relay came, you wanted to be on my team. I'm finna be out. There's one particular time where I remember that people that we were racing against wasn't that good. Like, when it was time for me to do my part of the relay, it was a dude and he wasn't that fast, and I knew that I was faster than him, but for some reason I know I could have like dusted him, quite frankly. I didn't let him win, let's not get crazy, but I just wasn't going as fast as I know I could, and I was kind of like trying not to hurt his feelings in a way, I guess. The PE teacher pulled me over to the side and was like, I don't remember the exact words that he said, but it was basically along the lines of, hey, like, you know, you don't have to, you want to be nice and you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's okay to, like, you know, shine a little bit. At the time, I wasn't aware that that's what I was actually doing. That conversation was so kind of like, like, it was a really good conversation looking back on it. As I continued to play sports throughout like middle school, high school, even more of a tangent now. We're gonna come back full circle, but let me just build so that this makes sense. Sophomore year, I tried out for the varsity team. I was a little bit iffy about doing anyways because I just felt like, it's varsity, it's only my second year here. This just shows you how much of like the limiting beliefs, the caps that I had on my own potential, that I was really good and like that I could play at a varsity level even as a sophomore, even as a freshman. I really could have. I was like really hesitant. This thing in the back of my head while playing, that like I didn't want to be like a ball hog. I was very generous with passing the ball. Say I knew I could take somebody, I sometimes would end up like passing it, and just like little things like that kind of followed me, that mindset of not trying to be a show off. It's just really silly now that I look back on it, because I'm like, I might as well have just went all out, because why not? So needless to say, to summarize this up and come back full circle, something that I'm still working on, so that, you know, it doesn't have to be view it that way. You don't have to view it as like a show-offy thing. Don't really have to level down to make others feel good around you. Why not help bring them up? Or if they're not on that level, why not try to match somebody else that's above you? You're really not benefiting anybody. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping the others around you by trying to minimize yourself. Or similar to the other things that I was explaining, the last weakness that I'm going to talk about, you know, those people that, you know, are just step in the room full of people that they don't know and just make a friend instantly, spark up conversation or have something to say. Like, you know, those people that just always have something to say. And basically, I admire that in people, and I wish I was the type of person that could just have something to say all the time. If I don't feel like I have something to say, I'm not going to try to force a conversation. And not saying that those other people do force conversations, but they're just good at, like, I just appreciate the effort. Small talk, and I think that's the thing, just small talk and like fluff, it just kind of, I don't need it. Like, I just rather be silent than to have to, oh yeah, so what do you do? Cool, where are you from? It just makes me feel so weird, and I just don't like it. But with that being said, I do admire that in people that, like, they're just able to talk about stuff and just make a conversation out of everything. I sometimes would like to have that. It's a really good soft skill to just have. It's really hard for me. Okay, so we talked about my weaknesses. I like getting the bad news before I get the good news. So now we're gonna talk about a couple of my strengths. So though I did say that I am kind of introverted, I am very like amicable, very easy to get along with. And I think that's really good too, because even in like a networking or job setting, we can all agree that people want to work with people that they like and that are easy to work with. Nobody's gonna want to work with somebody that's difficult or that they just don't vibe with. May not be the type of cup of tea that you're looking for, but I do notice that I'm pretty easygoing and pretty easy to just get along with. Next strength that I want to talk about is I don't really get offended easily. It can sometimes be kind of to my detriment in a way. Hear me out. Okay, so sometimes other people will notice things and be like, oh, that was kind of rude, or that was kind of this, or that. You know, they'll feel some type of way about it. And then I'm just like, oh, I didn't really think of it that way. I kind of just, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being naive, and sometimes I just don't peep stuff like that. But of course, I'm not just like some desensitive psychopath. Obviously, I do have feelings. I think in general, I kind of just have tough skin. It's all relative. Like, tough skin to me could be like very weak to somebody else. I think just my upbringing and the way I was raised, I'd say that's kind of a strength, especially in the entertainment industry. Even to be able to do this, like, you have to kind of, there's a level of not really caring what people think. My last strength that I'm going to talk about today, I think I am like the ultimate example of work with what you got, turn nothings into somethings. I have to give credit to my mom for this one, because we obviously are not rich. We didn't grow up wealthy. Like, growing up, we always kind of had that mentality of like, you gotta work with what you got. This is what we got, work with it, you know? See, I do want to expand and invest in myself more to be able to build, but I think I'm pretty darn good with working with what the good Lord has given me. I'm gonna lie, I could get a little ratchet sometimes, a little ratchet for the things that I do, but you know, I'm over here saving money, and that's just on that. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you again for tuning in to another one. Be sure to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and in the comments below, I want to hear what are a couple of your strengths and weaknesses that you've noticed over the years. It's 2020, so we finna work on these weaknesses, guys. We are finna do that. If you think finna is not a word, then I advise you to click out of this video right now. Just kidding, don't do that. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss another video from me, and hit that notification bell. I'm posting weekly, okay? Videos are gonna keep on coming and coming, so you might as well just hop on now so that you'll be a part of it. All right, take care. Make sure you drink water today. Stretch out and see some sunlight if you haven't already. Just take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.